Hello and welcome to Gin TARDIS, a spin-off from The Doctor Who Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Richard.
I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
And we've assembled once again. We have the munchies, we have the gin.
We've got 2 bottles today.
We do, actually.
That's to get for the Celestial Toymaker.
Yes, there's going to be a few post times on that. What have we got there, Rob?
We have the Bombay Sapphire in this delightful blue bottle.
Yes.
It's very good.
Yes.
Lovely. It is, for those...
Fill it out of your dad's liquor cabinet.
47% alcohol by volume. Good Lord. And Mark half filled my glass, so I don't know.
I got that duty free on the many times I was doing, trips with work.
Thank you to everybody who gave us positive feedback on our look back at the McGann telly movie as part of what a friend of the podcast, Dylan, has dubbed Maygan.
Oh, very, very nice.
Yes, very nice.
Very good, yes. Yeah.
But tonight we are going to dive into the Hartnell era, and after the positive reception we had from our Troughton Pick'n'Mix, we decided to go and watch some orphaned episodes of the Hartnell era, and then realised there aren't actually that many.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, basically, if we didn't watch the ones we're watching tonight, it would be The Reign of Terror, and that would be about it. So, spoilers, we're not watching an episode of The Reign of Terror.
I'm not watching Man of Terror full stop.
Yet you're okay with Celestial Toymaker.
Well, I had no choice because it's a set of slim pickings, isn't it?
Gents, what are you expecting from our Hartnell orphans tonight?
Diversity, because
that's a big
the Hartnell... I know. I'll lie down
Not
now.
drunk enough yet, clearly.
No. The Hartnell era, as we always said, it just goes from 1 minute it's science fiction adventure, 1 minute it's historical, but we're sort of looking at the sort of the tail end of the era now with the John Wilde stuff, and that's really quite diverse, in terms of what it's trying to do.
And largely missing.
And unfortunately, largely missing. So unless film is fabulous works of magic, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching some of the episodes we've selected, and yeah.
Very much so. with the exception of Dalek Master Plan 10, I don't think I've seen any of these for quite a while. So
really,
I think this will be quite illuminating.
And such is my memory these days, I can't recall much of these at all. So, but I'm probably looking forward to seeing Mark's face as Celestial Toymaker plays out across the screen. But no, I mean, as we said before, there's a lot of diversity in the Hartnell era, and this particular portion of his era is probably towards the tail end of being sort of forgotten. I mean, I'm looking at Galaxy 4, no one really says much about that. No one says anything good about Celestial Toymaker, so it'll be interesting, definitely.
Oh, what about you, Dave?
Well, obviously this is my favourite era of the series. That said, there's at least one episode we're going to watch tonight that comes from what I would say are one of the 2 fails of the era.
Ooh.
But there are a couple I remember very, very fondly from my youth. So it's appropriate that in the week we've released a talk about the He-Man movie, we're going nostalgic and talking about the Hartnell era as well.
And they're both very butch young men, aren't they? Hartnell and He-Man, so yes.
Fair enough. Well, look, we will get into it. We will start off with an episode of The Crusade. And listeners, we will be back after this break. Good afternoon. And we're back having watched The Crusades Part 3. Guys, instant reaction to that.
That was amazing.
That was great.
It was a stunning piece of
television
theatre.
It was
theatre,
great.
actually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Douglas Canfield is, with a tiny set and some very primitive cameras, his ability to evoke drama and atmosphere from a series of interchangeable close-ups is just remarkable. It is.
Yeah.
Just goes to show that you don't need a massive budget to make quality television. You need scripts, you need good actors, and you need a decent director, and it's off to the races.
And what did you say, Rob? That's better than anything we've seen in the last 10
years? 10 years. I mean, it's just remarkable. You can have the biggest budget in the world and come up with something that people just look at and go, what the hell was that? And you can be riveted for 25 minutes watching what we've just watched. 60-year-old television.
Yeah. And it's incomplete.
Yeah.
We never watched episode 1 or 2. We just watched this slice in the middle of it.
That's right.
And somehow we all picked it up, what was going on. Yeah, it was fantastic.
A little piece of perfection. It's just wonderful.
Yeah,
well done. And we clapped
great.
at the end. Well, I did anyway.
It's actually very dark too, really, when you think about it in places. It's hard, as we were saying while we were watching it, it's hard to believe actually that was shown for kids. It shows actually educational standards and everything, how they've shifted.
I was going to say, slipped, collapsed.
I mean,
I wasn't going to be quite as dark. But
I mean, when you look at it, the threat of rape hangs over all the women other than the king's sister.
And even she was about to get
clobbered. And she's about to be sold off for a peace treaty.
Yes.
This is not kids' television.
It's
It's all the better for it.
Yeah.
I was impressed by the way that they do the changes in mood so well. You start off with the First Doctor and Vicky having a bit of sort of courtly fun with the cloth salesman.
Bender here.
Here. And, the sort of bit of delightful banter with the princess and the chamberlain. Oh, well, boys dressed as girls. What's the
What fun.
What fun. And we were sort of going, this is all very fun and very light-hearted and good bit of Hartnell comedy. And then you just feel it change pace.
Yeah.
And it's not, it doesn't feel like a whiplash, but you just feel it change pace and go, okay, this is actually getting quite dark. Then it raises it back up again. You've got a bit more banter with the king. Then it gets serious again. Then more with Elakia. And then by the end, you're just like, wow, this is actually quite oppressive.
Yes. Whittaker has done... I mean, I'm not saying anything new here, but David Whittaker is perfect for this era. He knows his characters inside and out, and he knows how to craft scenes where they work really well together.
I mean, it's a cast and a crew, and indeed an audience that grew up on Shakespeare.
Yes.
So they're writing like a play. They're writing something that relies on dialogue and performance, and they've given it to actors like Hartnell, Bernard Kay, Jean Marsh, Julian Glover. Yes. Like they've given you give that dialogue to those actors, and then you let them perform. But you're right, Rob. It's not just a performance. The play between them and the camera, and that bit where the King and Joanna are literally racing from between three separate sets.
Yes.
And they're going back and forth at pace.
Yes.
And the camera's just there, picks them up. It's very, very impressive.
I mean, these are professional actors who have rehearsed this, and they know that what they need to do inside and out. I mean, this is done as live, right? So to be able to hit your marks, get in front of the camera at the right time and say the words in order and actually convey, emotion
and
exactly.
everything.
It feels like that's a lost art in TV production these days.
Yeah.
Where it seems like everything sort of just is just
rapid.
It's very rapid, and it doesn't feel like the characters are lived in. In this, you are drawn into what is happening, 900 years ago.
And it's the supporting characters as well, who are really, really interesting. I mean, I didn't really miss that Ian wasn't there. We usually sort of like he's integral to a lot of the shows, but he was only in a really badly filmed insert.
It was,
And Barbara, of course, carried a lot of that, but the supporting cast were fantastic as well, and they're interesting. Yeah. So,
I mean, as you were saying, Dave, I mean, the comedy, the comedy that's there. I mean, the Chamberlain, he has 3 lines really, but you know that type of character and what they're meant to do, and there's that moment of levity, as you said. It's really beautifully paced, and the changes in atmosphere and tone aren't jarring, and it just seems like it evolves really well.
And you know what? Give Hartnell that script, and that was faultless.
Yes.
That was 25 minutes faultless. And he went from nailing the one-liners when he's doing those sort of banter scenes. Then he's got that wonderful scene with Vicky where it's all hugs and, are you okay? Looking after her. Then it's mischief with the king. Then it's just, oh, bugger.
Here we go again.
What have I got myself into?
Again.
Yes. And it's all just done. What are your memories of this one? When did you first come to this one?
It would have been on the Hartnell Years tape.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't recall seeing that at a local club meeting, I don't think.
No.
Certainly not in the early days anyway. Probably would have been on maybe a bit later. Well, you got a story here, Mark, have you?
No.
You're giving me the look.
No. I'm very interested to hear your story.
It would have been the Hartnell Years. As I said at the top, I haven't watched any of these for a long time. I reckon the last time I would have watched part 3 was probably when part 1 was found. Or shortly afterwards when I watched them both.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it at a club meeting, and I would have watched it when I bought the Hartnell Years second hand because I was too young and poor to buy the Hartnell Years when it first came out.
Your dad wouldn't buy it for you.
Well, look, there are so many tapes and only so much much cash. So I did buy a second hand copy, I think in '97, and I would have watched it then.
Right.
And then the second time I would have watched it, and that's the one I remember is when part 1 was found. And
Yep.
I remember us trying to get copies of the UK release as fast as possible,
That's
so
right.
we could watch that back in the days when you actually had a physical copy to
Yes,
watch.
well, I do remember, actually, just with part one, I do remember there were unofficial copies circulating fairly soon after it was found.
Oh.
Yeah, not from you, Mark.
No,
or
I
your
was just about to say,
your tape
no.
trading buddies.
No, they let me down. Pirate Pete.
All right, come on. So what's your story, Mark? Come on.
No, look, it might surprise you. I had a copy. It was pretty unwatchable. And, you know,
And that's my memory of it.
and that's the
Even
thing.
on the Hartnell Years tape, it wasn't very watchable.
no, and I remember watching it on the Hartnell Years tape, and I was bored by it. I was bored. Going, oh, this is so wordy, and like I was in my early 20s then. And I go, this is so wordy. And I think I watched it again. I mean, I've watched it on the Blu-ray set. I watched it when The Lost in Time came out. But watching that now at a slightly older age than I was in the early 20s, I thought that was brilliant. And I think, Rob, you just pointed out before, where television is now so rapid-paced and it's a little bit vapid in some places, where that enthralled you for 25 minutes of great dialogue acting, and it drew you in.
But pauses as well, like that gives you time to breathe. Not from being slow, but just there are pauses of what's going to happen next, what's going to say next, and that you look at something like The West Wing. The West Wing is full of that as well. You know, The West Wing is known for its banter and its quick wit, but it also has those moments of just pause to let what's happening sink in, and that absolutely does. I mean, some of the most terrifying scenes are the ones with Barbara and the young daughter in the hiding hole.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue.
No.
It's just, and it takes its time to just go, this is bad.
Dark. Yeah.
As for me, I obviously watched this. I think it's on the Lost in Time DVD.
It is, yes.
So I would have watched it then when it first came out. I do recall sitting on the couch and going through a whole lot of them.
So you didn't have the Hartnell Years tape? No?
I didn't buy a lot of the VHS tapes because I just had no
interest
really, and they would have taken up a crap ton of space. So they're not something
they
for me.
did.
So I probably watched it definitely once, maybe twice.
Right.
Yeah. And no, a mouldy copy at the Doctor Who Club of Victoria or anything like that. So, But the other thing, obviously, that made a huge impression on me when I was much younger than that was the novelisation. Which is a marvellous piece of work.
Yeah. Oh, with the Andrew Skilleter cover.
I was going to say that's the reprint.
That's a reprint. I like that cover. It's a good cover, actually.
Dave's holding the novelisation, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Flip the pages. Yeah.
I think I've got
When was the last time you read the book?
Oh, look, when I started.
That's right.
Okay.
pictures.
Yes.
When I started high school, our school library had the first three novelisations, obviously, and I was enraptured by it. So
Yeah.
There's a picture of Barbara being menaced with a whip.
Oh, what
Gee whiz.
Not a kids show, people.
No.
Yeah, that is quite extraordinary. We did a deep dive into this for the Doctor Who show probably about 2.5 years ago now, and we did find that the audience didn't quite download that as fast as, say, we were doing, a Tom Baker story. But what we did get was a lot of feedback of people saying, I've actually never bothered to watch it. Even people who've watched the Blu-rays, I skipped over that one because 2 episodes are missing. I don't really know about it. I don't really like the historicals. But people then ran to, well, on the back of our chat, they watched it and had the reaction that you guys have all had of just, actually, this is really, really good.
That's positive.
And I think that it's sad that it hasn't quite got the reputation of something like the Aztecs. And I think it's only because it's got 2 episodes missing.
Clearly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a real... I use the word tragedy.
I was going to say travesty.
Too lightly, obviously, because this is just television. But, it's marvellous. And I think the way Dalek Master Plan was, received so rapturously a month or two back, I think that you'd have the same reaction if the 2 missing episodes for this turned up, because you'd be able to see it from start to finish, and the development of the script and the characters and the plot. And so it's a real pity that it's missing half its run.
And it's a shame because this season 2 is only those 2 episodes that are missing. It would be a complete run. Yeah.
Now, people like to poke fun at the 60s for being crap, looking shoddy, but also for what they would say problematic politics. Did you get any sense of that watching this, given that it's set in the Crusades in the Middle East, depicting Persian characters?
No, I think...
I guess the current trend...
Persian and Arabic, I should say.
I was about to say, I guess with the current trend of they've obviously cast English actors and potentially maybe put some makeup on them. I'll just leave that comment there, but
maybe definitely.
I suspect you would maybe get that complaint, but other than that, no, I don't think so.
I think
that these... I mean, from our perspective or the perspective of the audience in the 60s, clearly the English characters are the quote-unquote good guys, but your Persian/Arabic characters are also depicted as real people with their own drives and needs and
They're
goals.
not cartoon villains, no.
Exactly.
No, exactly right.
And for that's welcome.
Yep.
That's really, and that's an even-handed depiction that you wouldn't necessarily. A lot of people today would look back to the 60s and say, bunch of racists making racist stuff, in racist ways.
You
but
shouldn't
really,
watch it.
No, you should watch it, and yeah.
But Bernard K. Saladin is noble, wise,
Yes.
Yeah, the
respectable.
portrayals are sensitive.
The Earl of Leicester is a bastard.
Yeah.
Like there are good and bad characters on each side. The gentleman that takes Barbara in is a good man.
Exactly,
Yes.
yeah. But it's how television
Well,
was
he's
made
not.
back then. I mean,
Well, yes.
it's how it was back then. You can't change it. So you just... I just watch it as pure entertainment and go, it's fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that is I think.
And sometimes...
It's not a propaganda piece that says the West is great and the East is...
No, it's
not.
not. It's sensitive. I think it's quite
sensitive
sensitive
to both sides.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, admittedly, you try not to shop your own sister off to someone else.
No.
But let's face it, that is what
Yes,
That's what was
politics of
done.
that period, that's exactly
That's
what it
that's
was.
arranged marriages everywhere.
And all that, yeah.
and that's the thing. Like the exact plot of the Crusades didn't quite happen, but most of the incidents did.
Yes.
The bit where Richard is ambushed out, training his falcon or whatever it was.
Yes.
And, that happened.
Happened.
The plan to marry Joan off to Saffredin was genuinely considered. Like these are all beats of history that have been put together for a narrative.
Yeah.
But I suspect for an English school kid of 1964, 65, they would have been sitting there going, I read about that. I know about that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Where
today.
now, unfortunately,
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
lost.
Not
It's-
today. Not
let's-
today.
Wouldn't even know what the Crusades were.
No.
Well,
and they probably campaigned against it. An act of colonialism. No, they'd say it was an act of colonialism.
yeah,
That's what they would say.
Exactly right. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, they're exactly saying.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've been to Jaffa. Have you been to Jaffa?
No, but we like
You've
the
been
Jaffa
to Jaffa,
cakes.
apparently.
You
We
like
like
the
the
Jaffa
Jaffa
cakes.
cakes. Richard and I, Bob, we love them.
You were there, Dave. What is Jaffa like in terms of
Yes.
today?
Very different to what it is.
Well, of course, yes.
So the old port of Jaffa is still there.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very small part of it, but you can still sort of get that sense of being in somewhere that is old.
Yeah.
And given that when I was there last time, I was in a bunker with hypersonic missiles raining down on me, also still dangerous.
Yes.
Yes.
But
So nothing's really changed, is it really?
we'll leave that there.
Well, just before we shuffle off this one, I have got a couple of notes about how it was screened here.
Go for it.
Alrighty. Well, the Crusade was shown here between March and July 1966, depending on where you were in Australia.
Yep.
This was actually the very end of the first screenings of Doctor Who here in Australia. It started obviously all the way back with An Unearthly Child in 1965, and they went right through to the Crusade. So that's
Wow.
15 months worth of Doctor Who.
Gee whiz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then had a little bit of a break.
A breather.
Yeah, but we are obviously in the period where, as we've said numerous times with the black and white ones, where each state's doing its own programming, so the tapes were cycled around a bit. It was only shown once a week at this time here in Australia. It was different nights in different parts of the country, and those nights did change. But by the time we get to the Crusade, it's been shown fairly consistently on Mondays here in Melbourne, in Adelaide and in Perth. And if you were in Sydney, Hobart and Brisbane, you would have watched it on a Friday.
Oh, that's bad.
There you
That interferes in pub night. Yeah, I mean.
Well, they didn't have footy there, so
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
not real.
Not real footy.
very good.
Hello, Rob, if you're listening.
How dare you!
Very good. So, look, the Crusade itself, it was first shown in Australia, it debuted in Perth
Yeah.
in late March and started in Sydney a few days later, followed by the rest of the country. The last state to see it was Tasmania, and that wasn't until July.
1975.
Part 3 that we just watched, it was first shown in Perth on Monday the 11th of April 1966, and it debuted here in Melbourne on the 16th of May. It was shown at 6:30, so we are in that early evening time slot just before the news. It was paired with a Canadian kids series called The Forest Rangers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, which I do vaguely, I think they were repeating that into the 70s here. It's about a group of kids who sort of live in a
Forest.
in a forest, yes.
And they're rangers?
No, they live in a ranger station, basically, in the Canadian forest, and they have adventures where they put out fires and stop floods and help Mounties catch criminals and things like that.
They fight Bigfoot by any chance?
Not everything about the 60s was classic.
Rangers call terrorists and fun.
Simpler times.
Five put out fires.
Yes. In other parts of the country, it was paired with a UK comedy series called Hugh and I.
Yes.
But there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hugh, is it Hugh Lloyd? Was it Hugh?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's the one, yep.
Hugh Lloyd and Terry Scott.
Yep.
There you go. The other stories we'll deal with probably at the end of all this because, obviously Dalek Master Plan was never screened here. And, Galaxy 4 and the Celestial Toymaker were screened in the same run, so we'll talk about them later.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Well done. Thank you, Richard.
Well, having just had something put together by Whittaker, Newbury, Campfield, something dry, something exciting, something dramatic.
We go to Galaxy
4.
4 and part 3 of Galaxy 4.
We will be back after these messages. And we are back.
Yes. Yes.
We have just watched Galaxy 4 Episode 3 Airlock. From the sublime to the ridiculous, might I say?
Could we say that it was better left undiscovered?
That was awful.
I was going to be a little
No,
more...
that was...
There were a couple of redeeming features, perhaps.
It finished.
Started, then
It started, finished. No.
Can we look at the positives first?
Yeah, go on.
I like the flashback scene. That was
cute.
unusual and done well.
Yeah.
And whilst Marga talking to a camera like Ian Richardson, it wasn't quite like Ian Richardson in House of Cards. That was different again.
It was.
And that was about it for me.
Oh, the design work was...
The design work was pretty good.
They put some work,
of
particularly of having putting the set together for the Rills, the Rill ship, or outside the Rill ship. Look, that's had a fair bit of work put into it.
So I do like the outdoors work, where they've at least tried to make it look like an alien planet.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
enough.
that sort of works. I think the will
The will to live.
We've lost the will to live.
Yes. The Rill ship is a very interesting set, but never actually convinces me that it's a spaceship.
No.
Well, I think it's meant to be the thing they've set up outside to cover where they're drilling for the gas.
Is it? Right, okay.
Maybe I was paying a bit more attention than the rest of you, clearly.
Maybe.
If there's
you
confusion,
three gave up a
something's
lot
gone
earlier,
wrong.
clearly, than I did.
I'm four sheets into the wind, doesn't matter.
I was going to say the Draven ship is a very weaker design, but at least it feels like a spaceship.
Okay. Well,
It's
was it
my-
positive?
I'm
What?
convinced.
Was it a positive that we at least get to see a Rill? No,
like
that wasn't.
The Draven spaceship looked like a beach hut.
What does that make the Chomblies?
Oh.
Were the Chumblies actually thought of as being replacements in popularity as the Daleks, or did I misread something?
Everything was.
Everything. I think
Yeah,
everything.
if they liked this, I guarantee there would have been a sequel. Yeah.
I mean, they did make Chumbly toys, didn't they? Or were
they
they
made
never released?
Well, they made Mechanoids, certainly. I
Yeah.
don't think...
I think comparing this to the Crusade episode 3, which we obviously watched before,
That's not really a very good comparison.
no, but I
Bob,
mean, you can see a tightly scripted, very well acted performance for 25 minutes. Here,
and then there's Airlock.
It's like they've had a lobotomy.
but it's just completely shapeless.
It's a runaround, basically.
yeah,
It's a runaround.
And yeah,
So it's interesting. Richard and I have both just finished doing our recordings for Spacefall Series 3,
Yes.
where we discussed that there are a number of episodes of Blake 7 in that season that have very big sci-fi ideas that don't quite work. I will give Galaxy 4 credit. There are a number of good sci-fi ideas in this one. The exploding planet, the different alien species, the Dravens being a mostly clone race with a few natural borns who are in charge of them.
Yes.
Like they're not uninteresting ideas. They're all done terribly. I said at the start that one of the episodes we're going to watch is one of my 2 fails for the Hartnell era.
Yep.
And Galaxy 4, I don't think there's any shock I can now reveal was that. I just think the story doesn't work. I think that when you look at the Crusade Part 3, you go, this is obviously a quarter of a very big story. That works as a self-contained unit, but feels like a bigger part of a story that's got a lot more going on. When you realise that there have been 2 episodes of this already, and nothing's actually happened,
yes,
like they've only just discovered the rules at the end of part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they sort of spend this one going, the rules aren't so that bad after all. Stephen does nothing, but he moves about 5 feet across the set across 25 minutes. Like, nothing actually happens in this story. There's a lot of interesting ideas, but nothing actually happens. And if you don't have plot, ideas are just ideas.
It is, as I said, it is just a run around. Look, whether it would have been maybe a bit tighter as a 2-parter, perhaps, but...
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Well, we said it as a 1-parter, it still didn't work, did it?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a 1-sentence plot, really, strung somehow into
4
minutes.
episodes.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's a lot of padding in that. It's a lot of running around, and it's a lot of just nothing.
The woman who plays Marga, she's doing her best. I mean, you can see that she's, disdainful of her soldier crew.
And given you've made them mindless, she's really got nothing to act against.
No,
so she has to talk to camera.
Yes. Yeah, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But it's a choice. Yeah. Sorry, if I kept on talking, I'd just bury myself in negativity.
And like,
but
there's no threat. Like they're saying, the planet blows up. But now, if the planet was unstable, there should be a couple of shaking cameras and things like that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know
Some
what I
sound
mean? Like
effects.
there's some sound effects. What's that rumble?
Is there a ticking time? Is there a ticking clock? We don't. I mean, it's 2 dawns. Well, what does a dawn look like on this planet? There's no progression
There's
from night
nothing.
to day, etc.
No. It's really.
I mean, I'm hard up for entertainment in the UK if this was put on television back in the 60s. I mean, really.
This was the season opener, Rob.
This is season 3. This is season 3.
Is this the Space Babies of the late 60s?
I mean, I think in fairness, and look,
Fairness?
This may not mitigate. I think this one was filmed straight after the Time Meddler, and it was the one they sort of had in the can for the start of the new season, I think. So look, whether it's just a case, because even Hartnell really is not in great form in this.
No,
he's clearly. So I'm thinking whether it's just they're all tired, they're all just the money's run out, they're ready for a break.
Yeah.
And this is just sort of the as they say, sort of the fag end of the budget and the fag end of the season.
I mean, there's a few interesting ideas, as you said. There's the all-female crew, clones.
But even that, so look, I can remember sort of being, a young fan, a kid, and you'd have the 3-line summary of Galaxy 4, and it was all meant to be about the whole, beautiful can be bad and ugly can be good and that sort of stuff. But they actually don't do that. Like, that's not what the story's about. You meet Marga and her army of beautiful clones, but they're clearly bastards within about the first minute of meeting them. Yeah. There's no sense of, like, let's have a couple of episodes of, they're being really enticing, they're the sort of the Odyssey sort of thing of, these beautiful women are being very enticing and they're giving us everything we want, and then you realise maybe that they're a pack of bastards.
Yeah.
No, they're just bastards from the start, and the rules are meant to be they're the scary monsters, but within 30 seconds of meeting the rules, they're all very lovely.
Yes.
And so there's no sense of actually
there's no tension or anything.
No, there's no sense of twisting that idea. It's just, look, the beautiful women are bastards and the ugly monster's not that bad after all.
I mean, where we were saying the episode 3 of The Crusades is, this is not a children's show.
That is a children's
show. This is definitely a children's show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And God help the children of the UK who watch this, to be honest, because, I mean... I have never seen this before, actually. When it was found...
Really?
I never got a copy of it. I don't think I asked for a copy or anything like that. But so, having watched it, I've been slapped around the face with very dead haddock. It's just bad. It's just bad.
So this isn't going to make you go and check out the rest of the episodes or listen to the soundtrack or something?
See, the funny thing is, I did actually, on a long drive, listen to the soundtrack for Galaxy 4.
There you go. Okay.
15, 20 years ago.
Right.
And I... Obviously, clearly, I was insane. I was impressed. I thought it sounded all right.
Right.
But the this is one instance where the visuals drag it down.
They had nothing. Yeah.
They
actually make it worse.
It's a negative. Yeah.
No,
Sadly.
well, Hartnell's not energised.
No.
There's only one other real character, which is Marga. The rest are drones or a puppet.
Yeah.
So there's no one really to sort of lift the script. And as you said, look, Margaret's trying, but it's just a lot of monologuing, which doesn't help. But look, let's sort of keep going on that thought, because this is another one that I really knew very little about before the episode was found. Certainly, I'd read the book when I was very, very young, or maybe even had the book read to me. It was that early. Like you, Rob, I've certainly owned the soundtrack on CD and would have listened to it once, but I don't think it was more than once.
Yeah.
So it must have been when this was discovered, it was a very new episode of Doctor Who. And what's interesting is when this and Underwater Menace Part 2 were found, compared to every other release sort of in my fan time, where there was this active rush to get it out, Tomb was brought out on VHS as quick as they could, Web and Enemy were brought out on iPlatunes as quick as they were, Master Plan, like they just got, we got that ourselves, I guess. But there was just no sense from the BBC of, let's get this out in any way, shape or form. The releases of these... I mean, the release of this took ages.
It
was on the Aztecs.
It was
bundled on the Aztecs DVD.
The special edition release.
There was no sense of get these out, but, which was fine because illegal copies just went around very fast. But it's a very odd find.
It is. I remember I'd seen a couple of pictures of the Chumblies because look, they were in K9 and Other Mechanical Creatures. There is a couple of pictures there. I think of a group of the Dravens. I think lined up with Chumblies or whatever.
Yeah, and
that was probably other than maybe the sort of very small paragraph in the program guide. Probably that was about all I knew about it.
Yeah, and then we had the clip in Resistance is Useless.
That's the thing. I do remember getting a copy.
Whose Doctor Who was it? That was it. Whose
Doctor
Who?
Who's Doctor Who?
I do remember getting a copy of the clip. Probably in the early 90s, I think, from somebody.
Was it the 6-minute one? Or
the 6-minute one. When that started circulating. But you're right. Look, I mean, it was exciting probably when it was found because look, it's new Doctor Who, new classic Doctor Who.
And look, we didn't know what the real set looked like. We didn't know what a real looked like.
No, because nobody knew what it real looked like at all. No. So that was nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad this was found because it adds to the tapestry of how of the show and how we understand it and how it was made and all that sort of thing and the variables that go through any era of television.
For sure. But I don't remember, I think I only watched it twice because I was sort of like, oh, is that all? Really a bit. And to be honest, it was found at the same time as Underwater Menace 2. And as we said, when we watched that is much better than Part 3.
Oh, God, yes.
And that was by far the better of the two. So I actually, But no, I other than that, you're right. I don't know much about this story, really. And that hasn't helped.
No, well, there's not much more to it. I mean,
no.
Part one is they meet the Dravens, and at the end of it, the Doctor does tomorrow is the last day this planet will ever see. Yeah. Part 2 is then walking from the TARDIS to the real ship. And given that they only just meet a real at the cliffhanger, that's clearly all there is.
Yeah.
And then Part 4 is the exciting adventure of the Doctor connecting an extension cord to the space.
And literally, that's what it is. That's what it is. You see, exactly.
They solve the problem by giving him putting the jumper leads on the TARDIS. And
they go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, even with the animation, the whole thing is quite forgettable.
It would be interesting maybe in Part 4 to see how they handle the exploding planet. That might actually be interesting. I can't even remember.
That's how negligible it was.
I mean, I've seen the animation and I know how they did it there, but it would be interesting maybe to see how that was done on camera. But
look, it is interesting to see, but as I say, I'm a big fan of the Hartnell era. There are two stories I think fail in that era. I think Galaxy 4 is one of them. Not because it doesn't have ambition and doesn't have some design and some ideas, it's just dull. It's just dull. There's no characters, there's no excitement, there's no really wild times,
I mean, it reminds me of the Space Museum, but at least Space Museum had one redeeming feature. It was episode 1.
No, that too.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Is that your second Hartnell?
That's my other.
Okay, there you go.
That is terrible.
Look, I'm going to say something that probably exposes my ignorance more than anything else. I haven't watched a lot of Hartnell or repeatedly watched it. But to me, I know I'm a bastard.
Get out.
I just wander the night like a lost soul. 40 days.
42 days.
42 days. But personally, I clearly think that Hartnell and the Hartnell era work better as a historical themed series of television. I don't know that this sort of Flash Gordon-esque sort of storytelling really suits. It gets the best out of the production and gets the best out of the actor.
Well, let's put that theory to the test, Rob, by watching something that is both a sci-fi adventure and historical, as we watch Master Plan Part 10, Escape Switch. And we are back. What did we make of episode 10 of the Daleks Master Plan Escape Switch?
That whizzed by.
Vast improvement over the last bollocks we watched.
Wow.
That was great.
That really whizzed by.
It did.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't necessarily think I enjoyed it, but I liked it.
I don't think it's probably as good as the earlier episodes we've now had the opportunity to see.
No.
But look, it was fun. I think Peter Butterworth added a lot to that.
Yeah.
And he clearly is having a lot of fun.
Yes.
You can definitely tell that the need to keep a 12-part story going at this point is maybe struggling a little bit.
Yes.
And obviously the insertion of the monk in episodes 8, 9, 10 is meant to stop that. And I think it does work well. But under that, you still get Kevin Stoney as Mavic Chen.
Yep.
I think the Daleks are still very, very powerful and effective here. And, I mean, Hartnell is back to on sign. Again, give him a good script and obviously a director he likes working with. Yeah. And that was a commanding performance.
It was a vast improvement, wasn't it?
But even there's lots of shots of Hartnell just listening.
Yeah.
And the acting, the eyes, the mouth, the cheeks.
Yeah.
Caroline Ford always tells the story about, Hartnell taking a side and saying, TV acting is all, it's face and neck and hands. And you can see that absolutely in this performance.
He is on song there.
Yeah, he is.
As opposed to the last episode. Yes.
Well, he was off key. Yes. Yeah. What an improvement. Yeah.
It was.
Disappointing the next episode wasn't available again.
And that's the interesting thing, I think, if we could see it, because you have sort of 1 to 6, which is that very almost self-contained Terry Nation adventure, which we now have 4/6 of it.
Yeah.
Then you get the Christmas special, you then get the New Year special, and then you get 9 and 10, which are getting back towards that sort of tone. But you're right, Richard, we're not quite there.
No.
But then you get 11 and 12.
Yeah, where it ramps back up again.
It really does ramp back up to
Yes.
what we had.
You notice that one was from an idea by Terry Nation.
Well, in other words, the back of a napkin at a pub on his way to, as I say, his French chalet. You know what I mean? Yeah, an idea. I have an idea, Donald. I'm going to the airport. There you go. That's Terry's idea, bless him.
What do you think of Kevin Stoney's performance? Mavic Chen.
Probably the right sort of tone for it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's maybe a little bit pantomime villain, but...
a little bit, yeah.
But,
yeah,
look.
But look, there are moments there where it's just a little bit almost right on the edge.
Yeah.
And you sort of go, ooh, maybe you could pull it back 5%.
Yeah.
But then there are other moments, and the one we picked up was when the Dalek has that line, one Dalek can exterminate them all. And Chen just gives that look of like,
Ooh.
Hang on.
have I bitten off more here than I can? Again, there's really good moments in there.
I did notice towards the end, right at the end of the episode, where they're all back in the Dalek ship, and he's got the terranium core in his hand. Now, any other actor might have just sort of simply held it, but you could see he's sort of almost
Caressing it, yeah.
Which is an interesting insight into the character. Which he just, as you were saying before, Dave, with the hand and face and whatever, he's doing that, and you go, he's just completely obsessed with this thing. It's interesting. And I can see, having watched those Found episodes a month or two back, I mean, I think his performance is still pitched at the same sort of level. He's clearly thinks he's an equal to the Daleks, and as you indicated, he's bitten more off he's finding out that he may have bitten off more than he could chew. So, yeah.
I like the locations, because, I mean, it would have been very grim. I mean, if you're 12 episodes stuck in grim space.
Those sets were great.
Their sets were great.
Real sense of depth to painted backdrops and all that sort of thing.
It was really well. The whole thing, it was really well done. And
the thing that let it down for me, I think, was that the use of having native Egyptian, actors and characters rather.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of primitives, and they really add nothing to the story, as such. They're not interesting. They're not entertaining. They're not. They're there to react.
And to die.
Their background colour.
Yeah. So in that respect, I think this episode is a step slightly down from the first 3 or 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Stoney's giving the same performance as Chen, but Chen on Kemble or in year 4000 Earth versus Chen walking around an ancient Egyptian pyramid. like you can actually sort of see a slightly different contrast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I've got the novelizations of the stories we're watching out in front of me. So here I have the Daleks Master Plan Part 2, The Mutation of Time. Wasn't that an exciting release? We got very
It was 1989, wasn't it?
And I was just flipping through, and I got to the end of chapter 13. Mavic Chen staggered slightly, staring at them as the wave of energy washed over him. As it ceased, Chen suddenly realised that he had been terribly, terribly wrong. He was not immortal after all.
Wow.
And that's what a good novelisation should do, really. It should expand on the material.
So, well, these are great novels. The John Peel novelisations were
They were pretty good, actually. Yeah, they were pretty good. They were particularly very good.
Is John Peel still with us?
Yeah, I believe so.
so.
Yeah. Well, he's in America, so who knows? But yeah, I think he's still with us. Yeah.
He's part of a cult. Nationwide cult.
Make Terry Nation great again. Make it.
We have Barry Newbury back as the designer.
Yes.
Comments on the look?
Oh, so the sets
are
are great, and the backdrops are great too.
Yeah, it just gives it a sense of scale, doesn't it?
It's movie-esque.
It does. It really has a sense of scale, and that must be even that model shot was really good with those sort of pan across the pyramids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, the direction again was, what do you call it? Chef's kiss?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shot where it dissolves from the sun
Yes.
through the glow off or the gleam off the Daleks
Yeah.
dome.
Yeah.
But that was immaculate.
That was
just very
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
Even one of the very first shots where it starts as a close-up on the Dalek, then it pulls back, same shot pulls back, and Gene's now in frame.
Yes.
Just little things like that, really good.
Yeah. Hats off to the Vision Mixer, I think so.
Yeah, no, totally. But you're right about the set. When you realise that there's probably only one or two pieces of pyramid set there,
Probably, yeah.
just filmed from
Different
multiple
angles and rearranged.
and like right at the end where the monk's running away from the pyramid to his TARDIS, that's probably 10 foot of set.
Yeah.
And in contrast to that moment in Galaxy 4, Mark, we pointed out where poor old Maureen O'Brien
bless
is
her.
basically running on the spot so she doesn't run beyond the end of the cyclorama.
Yeah.
This actually looks like he's running quite a distance
Yes.
to the TARDIS.
It's that scale there.
It just shows what the way you set up the cameras can make such a difference.
And they just were so imaginative, weren't they, with the space they had?
Yeah.
And the cameras are massive. They were just basically tanks, weren't
Yeah,
they?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
ones,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What did we think of Gene Marsh and Peter Purvis?
Directional, yeah. Jean Marsh, I thought she's great.
I think they worked
I
well
thought they
together,
were
don't they?
really well. They do, yes.
That's not actually what you said during the episode. Say what you said during the episode. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be cutting that out, Rob.
No, he'll leave that
I
in.
think.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Sorry. Now back to regular
3, 2,
programming.
1. That's the question again. Jean Marsh and Peter Purvis, great.
Yep.
Good combination.
They bounced off each other
Yeah, they did.
nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They work well with Peter Butterworth
literally,
too.
yes.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
It is interesting though when you listen to episode 4, you watch episode 5, and then you see Sarah Kingdom sort of 5 episodes later. There is a bit of a deterioration of the character, is not the right word, but
Softening?
a definite softening from sort of loyal, space-hardened warrior to just another companion.
Well, doesn't the novelisation make the
6-month
point?
gap.
Yeah, that's
There's a
right. That there is a
6-month
massive
gap.
gap
That,
between.
and she stayed in the TARDIS.
that's right,
There's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
6-month gap, yeah.
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 It's meant to be a long time later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I mean,
Which makes sense, actually.
for the people watching this, I mean, there would have been a full month between the end of episode 6 and this.
Yep.
During which time we would have had Christmas and New Year. So, it would have seemed like a long time. No, I think that she was a good performance. I don't think Peter Purvis did anything amazing in this one, but it can't be his episode every episode.
No, that's right.
But Hartnell was absolutely on song. He commanded every scene he was in, which, considering this is late season 3,
Yep.
Yeah.
when he's meant to be, falling apart and
Knackered
can't
remember his
remember a
lines.
line.
Yeah.
You look at this, he's clearly in command.
I mean, look, you do get Magic Maverick Chen,
Totally.
but
Totally.
yes, but look, the rest of it, no, he is really on
And
song.
you've got the massacre straight after this where he's really on song. So, yes. Just once again, all those myths about Hartnell not being able to, just
it's a load of
being a
bollocks.
dribbling mess by the time you get to season 3. clearly propaganda put away by the bastards that sacked him.
Although, speaking of dribbling mess,
Put
it's
about
now
by
time for
backsliding
Celestial
paper.
Toy. Yeah.
So put about by backsliding paper hyenas. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
I was going to say, now, and speaking of dribbling mess, it's now time for part 4 Celestial Toymaker.
Anything else to say about Master Plan, or just it was very good?
It was
It was
good.
very good.
Damn.
It was good.
Yeah,
and
it was
it
great.
was a very definite. It probably wasn't as good as the Crusade, but it was a very definite step up from
Galaxy
from
4.
Galaxy 4.
I'm still reeling how bad that was. I'm still reeling how bad that was. Anyway,
Have some more gin, Mark.
I will, especially for the next episode we're going to watch.
The moment you're looking forward to, Mark. All right, let's
Yes,
get to it.
you've been building to this.
Hold on, listeners, before I start this one, This is me now opening another bottle of gin to get through.
In fact, for you, Mark, we might say that the successful Toymaker Part 4 is the final test.
Oh!
Of his sobriety.
Chin chin. Or chen chen.
Brought to you by...
That's not enough. Who wants a top up?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, give us half a one.
That was the final test. Did we pass?
It's just as bad as what I remembered.
Oh.
The thing is,
Wasn't that bad?
it was. It's 20 minutes of just playing hopscotch. Essentially, that's all it is. I mean, the amazing thing is with this and the story itself, right? Remember the old days when...
Which old days was that, Mark?
Well, when the Celebration came out, they said, look, this is a brilliant story, blah, blah, blah. And then J&T then gets in his head, we're going to do a sequel to a game of hopscotch over two episodes in season 23, which mercifully then got cancelled. Mm-hmm. It was just awful. It's just nothing happened. Nothing happened.
What about you, Richard?
I haven't finished yet. Nothing happened. No, you're joking.
Go on, Mark, let it all out.
No.
You're in a safe space, Mark. Let it all out.
No one's listening.
I want you guys to give a different contrasting view.
All right. I haven't watched that for a very long time.
Why is that? Because it's crap.
Look, I didn't think it was that bad. It was just kind of there, really.
But that's bad. That's bad, isn't it? I mean, Doctor Who shouldn't just be there. I mean, although it has been there for the last, 10 years. But, yeah, it's just...
Look, I think it looked okay. I think Michael Gough is probably a good enough actor to imbibe that part with a bit of heft.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I think that was a very... Let's phone that one in. Performance.
Yeah.
I think the fellow who played Cyril was quite good. Mm-hmm. He sort of embodied that silliness.
His name was.
Yeah. Hoorah! Yeah.
Silliness and sort of slight menace.
I mean, look, I know he's supposed to be modelled on as Billy Bunter. I think
It's someone that.
And that's the problem, I think, watching it now. I mean, I do know who Billy Bunter was because I do actually remember either my mother or father had a couple of books, and he was the sort of, mischievous schoolboy type character from the 1940s or 50s. So I am aware that's what that character is meant to be. But you're right, it's so far removed probably from anything we would know now.
Mm.
Your overall view, though, Rob?
Look, I thought it was a step up from Galaxy 4 Airlock.
Yes. So actually, which was worse, Mark, that or Airlock?
Oh God!
Don't make him Mark's
do
choice.
Do I have the right? Give me the two words.
Make your move, Mark. Make your move.
I'll get back to you next.
Look, I thought that the first 2/3 of it were reasonable. Mm-hmm. The game was fun, and Cyril was annoyingly menacing, and it looked okay. Mm-hmm. It gets to the bit where they sort of win, and then it seems to be 5, 6, 7 minutes of talk, and
you did say that actually while we were watching.
And I was just and it's not very good talk. It's the Doctor and co have seemingly won, but it's been sort of pulled away from them slightly. It should be more impactful. It should be more suspenseful. And it's just like a blancmange. It just sort of everything.
So
just
do you think
hangs
it's
out.
really they sort of realise, this is underrunning somewhat?
Yes.
We need to expand.
And look,
It's time-lash time.
I can't remember, but did the Doctor exhibit an ability to imitate the Toymaker during the rest of the episode? Sorry.
No, I don't.
No,
So
well,
that's-
he's frozen in the chair and made invisible and can't speak for
So
a huge chunk of it.
The Doctor's solution to escaping as the Toymaker's realm is destroyed is just pulled out of a hat. And
So I must admit, until I saw the really good clean-up version of that,
Yeah.
I thought it was just the Doctor doing a tone, not an actual... And watching there, I think it is actually Michael Gough that says the line.
Yeah, it is Michael Gough.
So
Yeah.
I always thought because the audio wasn't that good, it was just Hartnell doing an impression of Michael Gough.
Yes.
So therefore it wasn't something magical
Yeah.
or a special one. Which takes me to my view, which is that I'm very fond of this episode because it is one that I remember hearing very, very early.
Don't look like that, Mark.
Don't look at me like
Everybody's
that.
opinion is valid, Mark.
Even though it's completely wrong. No, go on.
So we'll talk. I guess we'll talk about our first encounters of this because I can remember borrowing this from the club's audio library when I would have been about 8 or 9, and listening to the audio of it, and kind of being.
Could you hear it? Like it was.
So this one I could. So episode 4 I had first. I had it on audio. And it was one of those things that just captured the imagination of a young boy. It sounded like a fantastic world. The Toymaker, looked like this mysterious sort of figure. And it's one that I was very fond of. Later on, the audio library that did get parts 1, 2, 3, and they were terrible copies.
Yeah, of course,
and not helped by the fact that there's a lot of non-dialogue stuff in there. There's a lot of, like that terrible music in part 3, which is most of part 3. Part 3 is terrible. But I'm still very fond of that one. And part of that childhood nostalgia carries me through watching it now. Look, watching it now, I can see its faults. I agree it is very talky. I don't think that Michael Gough gives a great performance. I think he gives an okay performance. I think that Ian Hislop gives whoever is playing Cyril gives a perfectly good performance. And Hartnell gives a fine performance.
Yes.
He's obviously well rested after having a couple of episodes off. He gives a perfectly fine performance. Purvis is fine. Jackie Lane's fine. Like, I don't think there's anything actually bad about it. I think that it is very much the case that this is meant to be a very visual story and episode. And you compare the look of this to the 2 Camfield directed ones, and it looks cheap. It looks very basic. It looks very small. The direction is very straightforward. There's some nice camera trickery for the 60s, some nice fade-ins, and Hartnell's disembodied hand, that's quite clever camera trickery, but it's not well directed, and I think that's the problem. I think the script is okay. I think the performances are good. I think the ideas are good. I don't dislike it. I quite enjoy it. I don't think it hangs together as well as the others, though.
Did you watch the animation of the other episodes? Have you watched it?
For my sins.
Yeah. Not bad, was it?
The problem is, so
it's differently animated.
It is not. So look, this is an argument, and I had this chat with Rob when I watched it at the time. There are 2 ways you can do an animation, right? You can either say, I want to recreate as faithfully as possible the story, so we can kind of try and capture what it was, or you can say, we're off the leash, we can do whatever we like, let's do this how we'd like to do it. And this is very much the latter one. So you have people walking on roofs and walking in 3 dimensions, and like stuff that is very clearly nothing like what the episode would have been like, which is a perfectly valid interpretation, but to me, it doesn't mean I'm now watching a recreation of the story. I'm watching something different. And that's a shame for me. But we did say, though, this was very well cleaned up.
It does. It looks good. It looks good. It does look good.
It does look really good, actually, yes.
I liked Peter Purvis. Peter Purvis is just evergreen. I think he's really good in anything that he appears in, and we've seen a lot of him. I've seen a lot of him tonight and the last couple of months.
Even management videos.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes. That's right,
I haven't seen much of Jackie Lane as Dodo, and she gave a sprightly enough performance. Probably a bit too credulous with regards to Cyril, but that's the character, I suppose. And look, you are right, Dave. It's a pedestrian production that's enlivened a little bit by performances, certainly Hartnell and whatever. And again, Hartnell, he's not a dribbling mess, as we've discussed previously. But
and then this is 4 stories from the end for him.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the amphetamines that they're pumping him. I was really taken out of the story at the very end when it just become a talk fest.
Yeah.
And look, there's plenty of examples, I suppose, in Doctor Who where a story underruns and they've got to pad it out.
Time lash.
But when you're at the end of the last episode and you're looking for a big finish, it's not there for me.
Well, the Alpha 99.
Have you seen this story much in the past, Rob?
Oh, look, I watched it again. This is on the Lost in Time DVD. I would have watched it once at the time. Have I listened to the audio? Very likely, but that's about it. That's about it. Yeah.
What about you guys?
I would have watched it on the Hartnell years.
You gave that a good old hiding, didn't you?
Well, I only had 3 episodes.
3 episodes and a whole lot of
3 episodes for your $29.99
crappy filler.
And one of them was the pilot.
Yeah, well,
that's right. Yeah.
So I do remember that being shown at a club meeting.
Yes.
At least once. I remember we did it. I remember actually we did a games day. And yes, we showed that, and actually the Blake 7 episode Games was also on in the in the small video room, but amongst other things. But as I said, I haven't watched that for a very, very long time, and I wouldn't have watched it on the DVD, so I reckon it'd be 90 since I've seen it.
Wow.
Look, I thought it was... It's pedestrian, but look, I thought it was... the 20 minutes or 25 minutes went by reasonably painlessly.
Would it?
I know you were sitting there with your hoodie like pulled
I had
over
my
your
hoodie
face
on.
just
I was
about
just,
by
I was
the
just
end
doing
of it.
my
But
Kenny impressions going, is
Would
this death?
Would it benefit having? I suppose it would, but a silly question. But
More
anyway, I'll
money.
ask it.
No.
Well, would it benefit if the 3 previous episodes existed, or
It might do.
I think the 3 episodes are very varied. Part 1 is a bit Part 2 is actually quite sinister, the one with the deadly musical chairs.
Yeah.
I actually think that's quite sinister, that works quite well. Part 3 is woeful, where it's literally 25 minutes of just looking for a key and dancing around in a very
That's
small...
the dancing dolls.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's
It's
wonderful.
not very good.
And I think that one's fun. So I think it's one of those ones that does some different things, and some work and some don't, but we can't see it.
no?
And I think part 1, particularly when they're meant to be going through that obstacle course, that would really live or die by how
it looked.
cheap
It's
that
realised,
was.
yeah.
And look, even as the one around the room defending this one, given how that episode looked,
I suspect it would have looked very cheap at the
Yes.
time.
Oh, the whole
Yes.
thing,
The whole thing,
Yeah, I think
exactly.
so.
Yeah. And the
So we're very close to the end of the Hartnell era with this one, aren't we?
Well, we want
Yeah,
five
so
stories
five
because there's
stories
gunfighters and
through.
then
gunfighters, war machines, savages, smugglers, time, 10 planet.
yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a strong run, actually, isn't it? More strongish. I mean, we don't know really.
Well, Savages is a bit meh. Look, it might be good if you could see it, but I've always found that a bit meh.
it is
But-
pretty
Well,
mad.
Gunfighters is
Oh,
alright.
Gunfighters
Gunfighters was
was
fun.
fun.
Look, we had fun watching it.
We did.
It probably was sort of diminishing returns as you went through it. Part 1 is very funny. Part 2 is not quite as. Part 3 is quite laboured. And then you get to the gunfight in part 4.
I would have the savages over the smugglers. Although, again, I think the smugglers would... If you could see the performances of the smugglers,
Yeah.
it might
Yeah.
raise it, because
Yeah.
not a lot happens in the smugglers.
No. But I do remember
Not
when I
having
listened to this.
Savages either, but
No,
At least there's some people with, ray guns and cool machines and...
funny South
Jagger in
African
blackface.
accents.
Yeah, well, yes.
And funny accents.
It's interesting.
There's always been a debate, though, on the scripts, because when Brian Hales delivered his original manuscripts, Donald Tosh was a script editor, said these are fantastic, whatever. And then when Jerry Davis and then his lawyer came in, they said, no, we're going to do it. And basically it's a full-page rewrite from Jerry Davis. And then there's always been that thing where Donald Tosh has basically said Jerry wrecked it. It had a different, more sinister tone with the original scripts. I don't think those original scripts survived. It could have been interesting to see the contrast between the
And for
rewrites
all
and
that story, when we get to the novelisation...
which he didn't write.
Holding here with a
Which
nice thing.
which
Well,
Jerry Davis didn't write.
No,
it was
but that's the one
Alison,
they had.
It was
his
it was
partner.
a squeeze at the time, yeah, exactly.
Alison Bingham.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you wrote the introduction, right?
The name's on the cover. It's a giveaway.
Yeah, but it's exactly. But he wrote the
Well, then
introduction.
again, look at Attack of the Cybermen. So,
Yeah.
it's signed. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
it's a
They're all
print.
signed.
No,
Oh, it's a
it's
print.
all-
Oh,
It's a print.
It's a
all
print
signed.
sign, yeah.
I can't remember.
But I remember in the
I haven't met Jerry
I
Davis.
bought that in about 1986. I think I probably read it once.
We've all read it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think when he delivered the manuscript for that, because they're expecting something else, and all of a sudden it was basically Alison wrote the whole thing, and
Right.
yeah.
That's nice.
We've now watched 4 episodes from the Hartnell era, 4 orphaned episodes.
Yep.
What
Awful or orphan?
Or,
Oh, sorry, right, yes, yes.
It's not the Pirates of Penzance.
Yes.
What's your takeaway from this evening?
Well, there's one absolute standout, and
Yes.
we all agree that it is
Yes.
not
The gin.
the gin, the Bombay Sapphire, 47%.
The quite diminished bottle of
And
Bombay.
there is actually quite a bit gone out of that.
I think tonight demonstrates the wide variety of tone,
Yes.
Yeah.
storylines, and performances that you can get in the Hartnell era.
Yeah.
From the absolute peak, I think the Crusades is probably top 20, top 30 Doctor Who. Especially the classic era, and then you get to the unfortunately you get in one case you get to the depths of it, in my opinion anyway. But it's certainly worthwhile watching. Where the show began, really. Yeah.
It's astounding what they tried to do on those budgets in those
Oh yeah,
times.
absolutely.
And what Camfield, I mean, look, we've said it a dozen times across this recording. Let's say it another. What Camfield did with what he had
Yeah.
is
Oh,
extraordinary.
absolutely.
And to watch two
Would he have saved Galaxy 4 or...
Well, I was just
Oh,
about
absolutely.
to say, to watch two Camfields
Yep.
in between the other two, you can absolutely see what a judicious use of studio space
Yep.
and camera angles
Yep.
can do to any script. And I think the biggest failing, I know you guys didn't think the script was great, I get that, but I think the biggest failing of the Toymaker is the look of it.
Yeah.
It is
It
very...
looks cheap.
It looks
does look
cheap.
cheap.
It's very flatly directed.
Yeah.
And the same with Galaxy 4. I mean, there are moments in Galaxy 4 where the set looks like a set.
Yep.
And as I said, you get moments of Maureen O'Brien desperately trying not to run off the edge of the stage, compared to Camfield where it just looks big. It makes a huge... I think it makes a bigger difference with those conditions than it does when you've got,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's
Contrast
absolutely
is stark.
and it's absolutely disgraceful that Camfield wasn't invited back in the 80s to direct episodes.
Resurrection of the Daleks as directed by Douglas Camfield. Just imagine.
A bucket of water, please.
Exactly, yeah. It's like Graham Gardner. Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Richard?
I really enjoyed it. I'm a bit of a Hartnell fan, so look, he's not my favourite Doctor, but he's pretty close. On one level, I enjoyed all four of those. They were all watchable. As I said, unlike you, I wasn't hiding with my jacket over my head by the end of the last one.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah. So look, he is always watchable. I think Peter Purvis is really good.
Yes.
I mean, look, we've watched 3 episodes with Peter Purvis in them.
Peter
I
Purvis...
find he wasn't in a lot of airlock, but he was there at least.
Yes.
Look, Rob will want us to say, I think that one of the big things that fandom has discovered over the last 5 to 10 years has been Peter Purvis.
Yes.
I think that he's really been a bit of a revelation for a lot of fans.
Yes.
Especially his hair. It's magnificent.
It's a mane,
who's
isn't
lacking
it?
a lot of his hair.
Yeah.
And his pants.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
So tight.
Yes.
No, look, I think he is really good, and I would seriously love to see more of Peter Purvis' stuff if they could find something like the Mythmakers or the Massacre.
Oh, the Mythmakers. I can't stand
I would very much like to see those. Maureen O'Brien was great.
Yes. And Hartnell's relationship with her, like, it's really
Yeah, you
strong.
did make the point. They obviously get on very well.
Yes, and look, I'm a Carol Ann Ford apologist and fan, but I can absolutely acknowledge you watch him and Maureen O'Brien, even in Galaxy 4, but certainly the Crusade, they very clearly get on very well. There's a genuine bond between them.
Yep.
And you see the warm side of the Hartnell Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
As in contrast to the Moffat caricature of the Doctor.
The sooner that abortion, the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, I
Robo-Dog.
think this was an extremely worthwhile experiment.
Yes, I agree. Mark?
Look,
Next.
no. I really enjoyed watching as we mentioned, the diversity of the episodes we watched. Were they successful in most cases? Not really, no. But look, no, absolutely. The Crusade was brilliant. The Master Plan episode thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, that's a pass.
Look,
it's 2 out of 4.
It's 2 out of
that's
4, right? But if I compare that to the ones we did with the Troughton ones, even the weaker ones were good because Troughton was a different type of performer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I mean, Troughton can make any old crap watchable. Where Hartnell is very, very good, but I think when he's not enjoying it, it shows.
I think that as good as Hartnell is, he has off days.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, it was
Galaxy 4.
Galaxy 4.
Yeah.
But then again, we did with the Troughton one. I mean, we did say, look, Underwater Menace 3 was just nuts, basically.
Oh, it was
that was just nuts.
It was mad.
Evil of the Daleks was fantastic. The Abominable Snowman was very slow. Boring. Yes.
And I wouldn't say that Troughton's on form in Wheel in Space.
No, because he was away for most of it.
And when he's back, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, he's at the door. Or he's heading towards
He's heading towards the door.
So,
the second family's door, probably.
And neither of them having a bad day is Tom Baker just actively deciding he doesn't want to be here. Speaking of which...
Just before we exit this evening, look, I have got a couple of notes about how Galaxy 4 and the Celestial Toymaker were screened here, just for those who follow these sorts of things. We did say, look, they were part of the second screening run of Doctor Who. Now, we did talk a little bit about this when we did the Gunfighters, but when the series came back for these screenings, it was moved to 4 nights a week instead of once a week.
Wow.
It was on Monday to Thursday. It's still at 6:30 p.m, so just before the news. Across most of the country, there was a couple of exceptions in Canberra, and I think there were a few stories they didn't see.
Canberra standing by.
Yeah, so this run, anyway, it starts in October 1966 and it goes from the Space Museum right the way through to the Gunfighters, which is in early 1967. Now, depending on where you were, if you were in Perth, there'd been about 6 months without Doctor Who, between the Crusades and the start of the new screenings.
That's bad, 'cause there's not much else to do in Perth.
No, probably not back then.
Surfing and avoiding sharks.
Very isolated back in those days.
Yeah.
But if you're in Hobart, it was only about 2.5 months. So these stories were shown out of sequence in some places. If you were in Sydney and Canberra, they correctly started with the Space Museum and went through the stories in order. Here in Melbourne, we started with The Chase. Perth, Adelaide and Brisbane started with The Time Meddler. And poor old Hobart started with Galaxy 4.
What is going on?
Yeah, well, so because they had to cycle the tapes around, they basically just showed the stories out of order so they could move the stories around.
Which is fine if you're doing season 2, but if you've got, so just different...
Yeah, so Ian and Barbara leave, come back.
What's all that about?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there was a little bit of a break in this run between the Mythmakers and the Massacre, sort of across the last month or two of 1966. Now, this was filled with...
they didn't show Daleks.
Yeah, basically, and a bit beyond, because it was actually filled with repeats of Doctor Who.
Nice.
For those who follow missing episodes, this was the second and final contemporaneous screenings of the G-rated Season 1 and Season 2 stories.
Right.
Yes. So not the whole of the series, because a lot of the earlier ones were rated A as being unsuitable for children. That's why Doctor Who was on at 7:30 when it first started, because it was in a more adult time slot, and those weren't suitable for put on kids for repeats.
Like the Crusade.
No, actually.
No.
Dalek Master Plan was one, and The Rescue was another, and a lot of the early ones. But anyway, bringing this back to the two stories under consideration, Galaxy 4, just quickly, it screened here, as we mentioned, well out of order. It debuted in Hobart in early October 1966. Part 3 specifically was first shown in Australia on Wednesday the 12th of October 66. Here in Melbourne we saw it on Monday the 14th of November. The Celestial Toymaker 4 had its Australian debut in Sydney on Monday the 5th of January 1967. It's first seen here in Melbourne on the 16th. Now, these shows were paired with that wonderful series Mr. Ed.
Wilbur, come into the room.
Yes.
Now, that is a magical
and Mr. Ed was already in repeats by this point.
And was still being repeated at least into the mid-80s.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yes, it was.
Don't go searching for Mr. Ed.
It's a great show. Wilbur, come into the room.
You watch maybe one episode, and then I think after they've done it, it's a bit like watching...
No episodes of Mr. Ed are missing, I'm sure. So.
No, not those heavily syndicated ones like that. It's a bit like watching The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Now, when I was a kid, I thought that was, kind of funny. You watch them as an adult, my goodness.
No, they're
So
not
it's like keeping up appearances.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
still love that show.
Same episode every time.
I love that episode.
Anyway, getting back on track, this run of Doctor Who, it ended with the Gunfighters, as we said, and was replaced by my favourite Martian.
Speaking of heavily syndicated.
Another one the ABC flogged fairly heavily until into the 1980s.
And one more interesting thing about Galaxy 4 and Celestial Toymaker, both those surviving episodes were returned from Australia.
Yes, I believe the Celestial Toymaker one, the reason it was saved because it was called The Final Test, and whoever was shelving the films actually thought it was a cricket doco or something.
And then J&T thought it was a... Because remember when he came out to Australia, because he went to the ABC to look see if they had anything else, and he thought the title of that was like a final test for him. Yeah, it was very strange. Yeah, they're quite graphic pictures.
This
is the Crusade novel, by the way.
Just for the benefit of the tape, Dave is flipping through the Crusade novel and looking at the rather risque pictures in there, or rather violent pictures. Yes. Well, actually, that one that you had there with the bloke who's killing Elakia. The book actually says he grabs him, spins him around, and throws him against the wall and breaks his neck or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I think on TV he's just stabbed.
Yes.
It's the 60s, man. They're the same illustrations that appear in the original novelisation.
Yes, more Alan Willow.
Yeah.
But yes, anyway, I think we're getting off tangent, so maybe we should talk about what's happening next time.
Yeah, so when we were reviewing our catalogue of Gin and TARDIS, Gin and Tardis, Gin and TARDISes, we realised there was one era of the show that we had not touched or covered at all, and that is the Hinchcliffe era, which is by no design, so we thought next time we will dive into the Hinchcliffe era, and we are going to bring back the listener poll. So we will each be nominating a Hinchcliffe story to watch, and we did agree that Robot didn't count.
Correct.
Yes.
So our nominations are Rob,
The Hand of Fear.
Mark,
Android Invasion.
Richard,
Mask of Mandragora.
and I'll be nominating The Day God Went Mad. I'm sorry, The Face of Evil. So, look, I think it's time we checked out of this because we are quite cooked at this point.
Yes.
Literally.
Yum yum.
Thank you, everybody. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we watched the Hartnell Era. So next week we'll be back with our main episode for June, where we are doing our ultimate cold take on the Gatwa era,
It's dead!
and probably discussing
luck.
the future of the show, such as it is.
It's dead!
I've been Dave.
I'm Richard.
It's dead!
I've been Rob.
Good night.
Good night!
Yo, check the scene. 1963, a grumpy old time lord on the BBC. Rocking that frock coat, looking kinda stern. Giving all the Daleks a cause for concern. William Hartnell, yeah, that's his name. Started a legend, changed the whole game. Stole a blue box, hit the vortex lane. 60 years later and we're still on the train. From Taylor's Lane, London, to the stars above. Teaching right from wrong with the grandfather's love. With Ian and Barbara and Susan in tow. Through the past and future where the time winds blow. He wasn't all cuddles, wasn't all charm. Sometimes he'd grumble and sound the alarm. But underneath the frown and the grandfather stare, he'd save the universe cause he genuinely cared. Daleks frag exterminate, loud and mean. Hartnell steps up, cool and calm upon the scene. Outsmarting monsters with a twinkle in his eye. Showing every hero doesn't need to be fly. There came regeneration, a